Good evening, everyone. Off the Ropes, episode 36. And just like Roman Reigns, the professor has returned to Off the Ropes. How's it going, fellas?
I just came in for a stare down. I need a stare down. Kyle, I still like Dirt Sheet Brandon, but Kyle is, because Jereme, we ran him off. He lost the Loser Leaves Town match. He's gone, so I just got KO left to take care of. But man, KO is like blown up this year. Like, he's not even the KO I remember. Like, put him on TV and he gets more handsome and more intelligent, and all of a sudden, he's not as easy to pick on anymore. He's got skills. I mean, I was listening to him on the Beast in the East program, and he's sounding smart all of a sudden. I mean, this is a crazy blow up we got going on.
Kyle, you care to rebuttal that statement there?
Wait a second. I'm so confused. You said I was your next target, and then you complimented me. So I don't know. Do we get the KO heel turn coming from Dave?
He's intimidated by you. That's what it is.
I'm intimidated. Like I got to put you over before I destroy you.
Well, it was kind of a backhanded compliment though, because he said you used to be dumb and unattractive. So.
Right. That's why I don't know how to. I mean. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Man,
I was confused. I was confused at first because I thought, Sunday or Tuesday on Beast from the East, we had a good time. We had a good conversation. Then you came in here off the top ropes, no pun intended, saying, well, I got a new target in KO. What'd I do? I thought we were friends again. What'd I do? But then so I don't know how to feel about you right now, Diggs. I got my eye on you though.
You turned from Stardust to Cody Rhodes all of a sudden on us.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll take it. I'll finish my story eventually.
And then we got Dirt Sheet Brandon over here, who's got to watch so much bad football covering Tyler teams. I don't even know what to do with him.
You were just complimenting Tyler Legacy on the show yesterday, Diggs.
I mean, they're better than I thought they would be, but at the same time, everybody's kind of bad in that district, and everybody's kind of good. So what can you do?
Hey, I'll say whatever their record ends up being, whatever happens, they're way more entertaining this year.
Well, when you have to go to the games, I guess that makes it a little bit easier to watch, at least if they're.
Well, I mean, they can sling it. That I haven't had a quarterback since 2016, so now they got one, and they can. I mean, they throw a lot of 60-yard passes, and they complete a lot of them, so that works.
Okay, makes for good highlights.
Yeah.
It does, but I've been so perpetually behind on I don't know how y'all are doing it. Like, I don't know how y'all are keeping up with just this deluge of wrestling we have to deal with. We talked about it like in April, how we were worried about this once you started adding in, all these other shows. And I'm just blessed that Raw is down to 2 hours, because now I can, knock that out a little bit. And my biggest fear right now is I have to avoid Brandon on social media, because he loves to talk about wrestling. And man, like all of a sudden I see a Brandon, but like, scroll past that thing. Real quick.
I don't really talk about it during the PLEs, but.
It's your right, Brandon. It's my job to navigate. It's my job, not
if
yours.
Kyle's watching live, he's tweeting too. So you got to watch Kyle's post if he's watching live.
You know what? I've tried to refrain from it because I want to enjoy the show and not have to worry about like tweeting in between it. But also, like, now in between packages and stuff, instead of tweeting, I'll just watch TikTok until the entrances are done, and then I pay attention to the match.
Oh man!
All right, it is Mental Health Month, KO, and I would recommend turning off TikTok if you enjoy your mental health.
See, Brandon and Kyle, they do this stuff. That's their job. See, I actually have another job, and then I do some media stuff too, and I'm doing wrestling, and I'm trying to coach my kids. So I don't know how I fit it all in, but it's tough. But I don't even know how they do it, because it's a lot. I'm sure having to work and then having to do it more. These kind of things are my extracurricular things, like my fun things, like getting to go cover games and getting to talk wrestling with you guys and that kind of stuff. So just honored that you're back with us, Professor. Since you're only here for a small time, we'll give you the option. Would you like to talk about the Mr. McMahon episode 2, or do you want to talk Bad Blood? Since you're You're here for a limited time. We'll give you the option of which order you want to go in.
I didn't even know there was a documentary till a couple of days when y'all were saying, "Oh, we're talking about Mr. McMahon episode 1." I'm like, "What is that?" I had to go Google it. So I have seen Bad Blood, so I can at least give.
Let's talk about Bad
short
Blood
hit
then.
on that.
Hey, real quick, Diggs. Whenever you do get a chance, now that you learned about the documentary, it's worth a watch. I mean, depending when you're wrestling watching stops, or if it ever stopped, you might not learn a whole lot, but it's still a very good documentary. 6 episodes.
6.
Yeah, and they're easy. They're an easy watch, like Brandon said. They're, it's kind of like my favorites toward the end because it's like some new stuff, but there are some pieces that I did learn about it. So it was
and my favorites in the 3 and 4 are my 2 favorites. Those 2 middle episodes are.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's talk Bad Blood then. We were kind of debating on when we were picking the matches, like what the opening match was, and they went with the Hell in a Cell first, and boy did it lead off the pay-per-view hot from the get-go. Hey, have y'all seen the footage, the aerial footage they released online? WWE did. So they've got like a shot from straight above the ring and some of in the Hell in a Cell match. Brandon, you saw it? I watched it. There was like probably 2 or 3 minutes, and it was just different spots in the match. My favorite spot was the suplex over the ropes onto the table, which was brutal. But they had some of the cool spots. You could see them from above, and it looked really, really cool. I don't know if they're playing with that to start using that during the match, but I thought it was a cool view. Just something you don't ever think about. It's kind of almost like your drone footage, but in a wrestling ring. I thought it was pretty neat. Overall, this match was just brutal. Did y'all see the staples in McIntyre's head from the toolbox shot? 16 staples in the head. Oh my goodness, it was nasty. I can see now why he was profusely bleeding. Almost John Moxley-ish, I guess.
He overbladed there too.
It was, oh goodness gracious. But this match was brutal. It was hard hitting. It was just what this trifecta of matches needed. Now they've kind of played them off of TV, and we'll see where they go with. We know kind of where they're going with Punk once. Punk's kind of the anti-Saudi person, so he's going to go off for now until the Saudi show's over, and we kind of after Raw, we kind of know where that's going to go. We all kind of figured, but it'll be interesting to see what they do with McIntyre. But man, this match was great, guys. What did you guys see that you liked, or your thoughts about this match?
Well, let Diggs go first since he's here on limited time.
Well, here comes the dark cloud. We need to get a graphic of the thunderstorm as Diggs comes in here to rain on the WWE parade. I will say I felt like we had an effective payoff on this feud, and I was worried about it because I didn't get that from the strap match, and certainly the SummerSlam match left something to be desired. So we certainly got a payoff on this feud, but just on the heels, at least the recency bias of Swerve and Hangman, this just seemed like a PG version of Swerve and Hangman, but great storytelling. I mean, that the Claymore, just the way his lower back hit those stairs on that thing, it was just absolutely brutal. And then kind of just the poetic ending of the bracelet pieces, just really good storytelling all around. I was excited about the match. It lived up to the hype. And they left me at least a little bit hanging on the fact of what are we going to do with Drew now, and how are we going to give him his redemption arc? So I guess, I haven't seen Raw yet, so I haven't got to see if they've even addressed that or if he's going to be gone for a while. So I'm invested in both characters more from this feud than I was going into it. So WWE, job well done. I can talk very technical about how the match could have done this or could have done that, but it did well. The fact that they both bladed, the fact that they both gave it all. I don't know what could have been better with these two athletes. So Hell in the Cell definitely delivered.
Yeah, I agree. I think the match. Oh, go ahead, Brandon.
Go ahead, Kyle.
I think the match was great too. I think it was excellent way to kick off the pay-per-view. The pay-per-view is Bad Blood, and this was a feud where the two guys hated each other. They bled. McIntyre probably a little too much. It was a little much. I said before the show, I said we're not going to get blood like we see in AEW, and then first rattle out of the box, we got Drew's bleeding like a stuck pig over there. So, but I think that's what the match needed. Like that's what the match called for. It called for both these guys bleeding and the pure just hatred coming out in the ring. And I think that's what we saw. I think they told a good story throughout the match. And I think that it was a phenomenal open to the show. The problem with starting a show off with a match that hot is that everything else after that just kind of.
Well, Kyle, they put your favorite match in the bathroom break spot.
But the problem is all these matches kind of got a bathroom break spot because you couldn't live back up to that hype until the very end when everything happened. It just, to me, overall, I think the pay-per-view was the PLE was bookended well. It had a great opener and a great finish, but the stuff in the middle was just kind of, I mean, it was there. It was good. It wasn't bad. That's not to say it was bad, but it's just so hard to follow a match of that intensity right off the bat. I mean, that's tough, but I get why they did it too. I enjoyed the match overall though.
But you could have just, if they hadn't done it that way, Kyle, then you could have just skipped the first 3 matches and then not watched the rest. But you know, that's they kind of, I mean, they kind of staggered it. You know, I think they separated them enough where it made you anticipate that last match even more because now you had to sit through the other ones. Maybe you weren't as excited about the middle 3. But it's like, man, I can't wait to the main event. Oh, I can't wait to the main event. And so it kind of made you build up for that instead of, man, I'm just going to sit here and take a nap these first 3 matches and then come to the end. You know, he was thinking about you. Triple H was, Kyle. He knows how you like to take naps and go take showers and bathroom breaks. So,
well, I appreciate Trips for thinking about little old me.
Brandon, what'd you think?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Really great way to start the card. What we expected, just a bloodbath, great storytelling. And these two guys have told a great story since almost when Punk came back, you know, especially since the Royal Rumble. I mean, they just, even when one of, did you lose me there?
Oh, we got you now. You were gone for a minute.
Okay. Yeah, it said I lost connection while I was talking, but no, but just even when one went on screen, the storytelling's been great between them, whether it be on TV or social media. This has been one of Drew's best runs, and just he especially as a heel, he's just done a great job and really cemented himself as a star. And then, but it was also good for Punk to get that payoff win. It was just a fun match, and then, you know, showed how much they put into it. Is, you know, Punk wins, and instead of being able to celebrate right when he exits, I mean, he just crashes. He couldn't even get to the back. He just fell over, and it just kind of just even added to the story there. And then he comes out on Monday and says he's taking a break, which we expect Drew to take a break. Now Punk's taking a little break, so it'll be interesting to see. You know, and Bret, you kind of said why you think why, but interesting to see when he comes back and what they do with him then. Because I think, my thought is he wins the Royal Rumble and faces Gunther, but they may do that earlier, and he's going to get a title shot soon, though. Sometime he's kind of made that clear. But they also still, because Seth came back, so you know he still got the Seth Rollins thing. That could be a future main event match or a future big match at a PLE. So, but Seth's got that with Bronson Reed too. So.
Big Bronson Reed, man.
There's a lot of different things going on right now, and it's making it fun. And so yeah,
what's your thought?
I enjoyed this match.
I know Big Bronson Reed, Matt. You know, we had this discussion months back about this. KO he's been always on the Big Bronson Reed train. You didn't like Big Bronson Reed. What do you think about him now?
I really enjoyed the feud with Braun Strowman. So it showed how he could really play upon. I thought he was getting a little bit overpushed, putting Seth Rollins on the shelf, but a good payoff with that feud as well. Great wrestling, put those two together, and you had a little bit of instant magic. So I hope they were able to keep that going. I've got about 65 seconds before I have to go pick a kid. So I'm just going to kind of just do a quick dump, if you will, of kind of pay-per-view thoughts. I really missed the countdown. I've been enjoying the 2-hour live countdowns the last few pay-per-views, PLEs. They didn't do that this time. They just did a 1-hour one that was kind of a studio. So I hope they get back to that much sooner than later. Like y'all kind of said, great bookends. The 3 matches. I was really disappointed with Rhea and Liv not giving us any sort of payoff there. So hopefully we'll see how they tell the story. Obviously, the main event, just masterful storytelling yet again. So I can't wait to see where that goes. And then that I popped at the end too because I didn't know what was coming at that last 2 minutes, and I know y'all will talk about it. So if you don't know what we're talking about, I'll let the big 3 talk about it. But gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. I miss you guys, and I'll be caught up sooner than later. So y'all hold the fort down. Swaggy, where are you, Swaggy? Come.
Where Swaggy went? I thought he was coming.
Where's Swaggy? And Jereme? It's Jereme. Love you guys. Bye.
Right.
Thanks for joining us,
See you,
Diggs.
Always a pleasure to have the professor on with us. And I mean, he started talking about it. Let's go to this next match. We had the Nia Jax Bailey match. We kind of knew where we thought it was going to go. It could have had lots of ways they could have spun this, but we still didn't get the cash in. And that's the crowd wanted it. That I think as soon as the bell rang, they wanted to see Tiffy time. They weren't really interested in the match itself. I don't think. She comes out, but they're still going to toy with it. We'll see how long it goes, but overall, the match was it was fine. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't great. It was just, an okay match. I don't like Nia Jax as champion. I'm not a fan. I'm ready for I'm hoping that maybe they just out of the blue, maybe they catch us off guard and Tiffy comes out and takes, because I think it was been too obvious maybe for this one. We kind of talked about being obvious. I was just hoping because I'm just tired of it. But the match was what it was for. It was to tease the cash in and to give Nia Jax another win and just extend this little plot that they've got out with Tiffy time eventually taking over the championship. Not sure where they're going with it or how long it's going to go, but and we know the end payoff is coming at some point. So that's what I'm ready for.
I've been pretty adamant from the beginning that I'm not ready for her to cash in yet because I mean, my whole thing is every time there's a women's Money in the Bank, they cash in within a few weeks, and I just want to see someone hold on to it for a little bit. And Tiffy's doing such a great job with it. So I haven't been ready for it, but I do like. I love the fact because this match was one, like we said, we weren't interested in it going into it. Then they put it in the worst possible spot behind the Drew and Punk Hell in a Cell. So it's like, why do I care? But then when Tiffy comes out, you're kind of glued in again, like. Okay, is she going to do it? What's going to happen? Her, is she going to, use it on Bailey? Is she going to use it on Nia? Is her and Nia going to split? They've used SmackDown and these PLEs to tell that story. So whenever it does happen, it's going to, and it keeps you on your toes. That's what having Tiffy there made this match. It gives you a little interest right there at the end. And poor Jessica Carr, she took she got. Man, that was brutal. Refs take some bumps sometimes, but we don't have a wrestler fall on top of you like that. So that was but it all worked out, and Nia retained, and we'll see. They've already set up her match for Bad Blood, which we'll kind of talk about later too, because when they announced at the start of the show, they made this announcement about what they're doing at not Bad Blood, at Crown Jewel. They made that announcement early, so it already kind of like, okay, Nia's going to win this one, and it made you think someone else was going to win the later one, which we'll talk about, but they didn't go that way, and so it's going to make that match a little more interesting. It's hard to talk about until we talk about that match because of who returned and everything, because now each person's got someone in their corner, and we still got the Tiffy stuff, so that'll be Crown Jewel's another place where Tiffy could cash in, or other things could develop out of it. So that I'm just interested to see where they go. Like this, even though we don't like Nia as champion and don't want to watch her a lot, she's in an intriguing story right now, and I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I mean the match was, they were put in a death spot, having to try and follow that Hell in a Cell match. So no matter what they did, it wasn't going to be good enough, and that's unfair to them. But I mean, that's you had to put them somewhere. I'm with y'all. I think Nia's run has been non-impressive as champion. I don't want to take a Gunther chop, and I don't want to get annihilated by Nia Jax. Those are two moves that I would prefer never to take in a wrestling ring. Jessica Carr, hats off to her. She took it like a champ. She took it like a champ. But it was there. It storied more around Tiffy and what's going on with her. And I'm kind of with both of y'all. Like I'm with Brandon. I don't want to see it cashed in just yet, but I'm also with you, Bret, where it's like, I mean, that's the only thing keeping this storyline interesting right now. So I think you have to ride it out a little bit more because you got to, I mean, Nia's the champ. You got to ride it out a little more. I think we see a little more resentment towards each other as the coming weeks come, and then maybe Survivor Series, Tiffy can win it, or somewhere around Survivor Series or main event when they do it in December. Well, I don't know when it's going to happen, but that's what I'm looking forward to.
I don't disagree with Brandon. I like them, kind of keeping it out longer. If I didn't dislike Nia so much as champion, that's the main problem I have with it. I like the story. If it was anybody else, then I might be more of I'm for it. Let's because it does keep you interested. That's the only reason why you couldn't take a bathroom break in this match, Kyle. It's probably because you might miss Tiffy cash in. You just don't know. You don't know if it's going to happen. So, I mean, I kind of like the spot because you kind of maybe knew what was going to happen in the other matches, but you didn't really know what was going to happen here. So you couldn't just go skip this match because you didn't want to miss that moment. So I don't know. It was in a tough spot, but I think it was the right match to put there. I think it was strategically put there because, again, we all know that spot after that Hell in a Cell was just brutally tough to be in. Now at least you have to have interest in it because the briefcase being involved, the money bank, you can just cash it in any time. So I don't know. And y'all brought up the Crown Jewel thing, and that's since the other world title wasn't none of them other ones were really, except for the Live one we talk about in a minute. But I don't like this. Like, why do we need a belt for a Crown Jewel champion? Like, why? That's just a belt. It might as well just be a trophy or something. Like, it's not a champion. I sure hope they're not going to make their championship out of it, where they tote it around all year, even if they lose the other one. Well, now I'm still the Crown Jewel champion. Like, I thought they were going to introduce maybe one of the undercard women's titles. That's what I thought maybe was going to be under there. I was very disappointed by this. I don't like, why do we need it? Why can't they just fight and then whoever wins? Why do we need a belt? A useless belt.
Or make it a trophy, like you said. If it's a trophy, then that makes sense. Then okay, I'm the champion of the champions. Like I beat you, blah blah blah. Cool, you get a trophy and you can hang it up in your mantle at home. But to have a belt like that's my fear too. When I saw them with the belt, I'm like, so they hold this for a year because it's only a Crown Jewel. So they're gonna walk around with this belt for a whole year. Because if you remember in AEW with the Owen Hart championships, they had belts. And that first year, Adam Cole and Britt Baker were carrying around these Owen Hart belts till Tony Khan was like, yeah, this is ridiculous. Like, why? There's no point in this. And then they just kind of faded off TV and you never heard about them again. But that's my fear with this, is that we're going to get the same thing that it's pointless. Like, I get it. Crown Jewel and the Saudi shows, it's just a money grab. That's the only reason they're going over there. They don't really forward storylines. They don't really put much effort into it because it's Saudi. Like, they don't, it's a money thing. So why convolute it even more by now adding a title to it?
I wonder
Like,
if that's
you wanna-
something that they wanted, Kyle, and maybe they're having to give it to him.
I mean,
Like,
maybe.
we
but
want some titles. We'll throw in an extra 100 million if we have some titles. Oh, okay, well, sign me up. I don't know. I just
it's
doesn't
just,
make
I don't like it. I
With
don't
all-
like it. I think it's pointless.
with the good storytelling we've got going on right now. That makes no sense at all to me. Absolutely none.
I'm going to be a contrarian, a devil's advocate here too,
Uh-oh.
because I absolutely like it. I can get the whole not liking the belt thing. I can take or leave that, but I don't mind that. But I actually love this idea because Crown Jewel, like you said, it's something you don't have, and so you're also with what Gunther did and on Monday, and then Cody didn't even defend on this Pilly, but it's like they don't have what's next for them. They're like, it's good to get them on the card, but they didn't have, because otherwise you're just going to throw some random person out there and have it be a squash. And at one point we thought, oh, like Goldberg loves to come to these Saudi shows, and we thought we was going to get him and Gunther. They kind of set that up, and I was like, oh no, like that. But they'd already announced the Crown Jewel thing, and I like it because they were doing that at Survivor Series for a little bit, and it just didn't mean. I like that it gives it, because it's like, okay, you're not going to defend both belts, but I also just don't want to have a straight champion versus champion match like one you mentioned. I like that it's for something. What Kyle may agree with you that maybe a trophy's better, but the belt looks sweet. I mean, I thought it was a pretty cool belt. Like, I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't say carried around for a year, but I like the fact that I think it'd be more cool as if, you win it and then you put like a little name, like they could put like little nameplates on it, kind of like Stanley Cup or something, or you put like, you don't carry it around, but they put your little plates on it for the year, and they hang it up somewhere, and they show it every once in a while. But I do like that it's for something, and I like I mean, a Cody Gunther match, like I'm all for it, and it gives, like, I think that these two matches give you something to look forward to at Crown Jewel, where normally you get like a blockbuster type match of names only, but you like it was Roman against Logan Paul. Well, you knew Logan Paul wasn't going to win, but it was two big names in a title match. This is, you don't know who's going to win, because it's, I mean, that's why I also like it, is it's going to be kind of unpredictable because it's not storyline driven to a point. So I liked the idea. I get where you're coming from, but I actually thought it was it gave me more to look forward to at Crown Jewel than I probably otherwise would have. And it's a good bridge till we get to Survivor Series, because I mean, we're at a weird point right now because we got Crown Jewel, and it's like, hey, what are you going to do there? Then you got Survivor Series or War Games, and then you have nothing again until February. So it's like we're at a weird point, and we got to bridge our champions till we get to Royal Rumble. So,
well, I don't mind the match, Brandon. I just don't like them having a title for it. Let's just call it what it is.
But I also just
champion
said I didn't
versus
want
champion match.
But I think those are pointless. I don't want it for nothing. Like,
it's
brand. You either do it for everything, or you do it.
Brand supremacy. Remember they used to call it brand supremacy. They'd have these matches. I don't know. I'm not anti the match. I'm fine with the match. I just don't know why we need a pointless title that's doesn't mean anything. You just get it for one match and that's it.
But if you're not doing it for both titles, I'd rather it be for something than nothing.
So what is it? What do you get? Like, for winning the Royal Rumble, you get a title shot. For winning like King of the Ring, you get a title. Like, what do you get for this? Are they gonna?
You get this belt. Like, you get. I mean,
but why do I want the belt? Why do I want the? Is it an extra payday? I wish they'd like. Oh, they're gonna make an extra 20 million or something. Like, even if it's not real, tell us. Hey, the winner of this match gets this belt and they get a $20 million bonus. Okay, well then now it means something. Like, okay, they're gonna get an extra paycheck. I don't know. I don't know. It just, and
I mean, that would be cool, but like I don't know. I'm a fan of it, and I get why you don't like it.
Let's throw in Trick Williams. Put the NXT champion in there. They're all three brands, right? Let's put the NXT women and men's champion in there. Let's do a triple threat.
Okay, I would be perfectly fine with that. That's a good idea. I mean, I wish they would have did that. You throw Trick Williams and Roxanne in there, like that would be.
Now I'm interested more than
I mean, but
not
like,
that I'm not interested. That just makes more. You got more you can do with different things. Now you've got some different people to mix in there.
But also, both matches are going to have the big stories because you got the Tiffy one and the women's one, and then this one, the bloodline still could be lurking. So, and plus, there's another story that we'll get to later involving Cody. That I don't know if we can talk about it yet until Friday, but
well, I don't know. This one of those things.
I like the match. I like the match. I just don't think we need a title for it. If it's a trophy or something that you win, you can take home and put on the mantle. I think that's where my hang up is. Like, why do we need a belt? We have enough belts around there. Now you're just adding another belt to the whole equation. But I'm gonna let Papa H. I'm gonna see how it plays out.
Let's put this title on the line, the Pick'em Champ title on the line, and let's have a match.
Hey, if you want to get in the ring with Gunther, you go right ahead, buddy.
No thanks. I'm good. Okay. Next on the card, Damian Priest over Finn Balor. Match was 12 minutes and 50 seconds. I don't know. I'm disappointed that this match was kind of is this the end of this? Because I don't know. The payoff for me I wasn't super pumped about this. I don't know. The Rhea Liv thing was more interesting. Dom throws the hold of the wrench into it and makes it interesting, and with the return. But this match to me it was the same old match. Finn and Priest wrestled. Judgment Day came out, interference, shenanigans going on, and then Priest got the win. I don't know where they go from here, if this is it, but I sure hope not, because we'll see where they end up going. Did they really do anything on Raw? I'm trying to remember. If it was forgettable.
Last night they didn't, or Monday night they didn't do anything on Raw.
So I'm just I don't know. I'm not super a fan of it. Like, this match was fine, but it was just like it should have been more. This is for, like, these guys have been feuding for. There's been a feud in the Judgment Day for a while. Like, even though they were still together, Finn and Damian have been disagreeing for a long time. And they had the package that Finn kind of told when he started to try to get this whole plan with Priest and all that, went back way far back. So I don't know. I was disappointed. If this is the end of this feud, I'm disappointed. This was a lot of storytelling for this kind of ending.
Well, I mean, we talked about last week, and you thought this was going to be the end for this one, but me and Kyle were pretty adamant that we didn't. We thought this was just the beginning. The first of at least 3, and they set it up like that. And but I didn't think much of this match at all. It was probably my least favorite match on the card, which with Finn and Damian, that's kind of disappointing. But I thought there might be more to it, but I still think this is the first of many, or at least 3. I think the payoff for this one's still down the line.
Here's the thing, though. You compare this one to even the CM Punk Drew McIntyre first match, and their feud, the build up and the story, how good it was. These guys were in the same faction for however many years. There should have been some better, like, more bad blood than ever. Like, Punk and McIntyre were never friends, at least not anytime soon in the near, like, real time here, like a long time ago maybe. But Finn Balor and Damian Priest traveled the road up and down together for however long, and then it's separated. This should have been, they should have been the one, in there hitting each other with whatever, but this was just a regular match. Like, that's where I don't understand. Like, they told a great story. Maybe it's just the wrestlers that involved in this. I don't know. I just feel like there should have been more. Even if it's this match 1 of 3, I was disappointed. If this match would have been on Raw, I would have fast forwarded this match to see who won. That's what I felt about this match.
I agree with you. I didn't think anything of the match, and so I agree with you on that. Like, I don't think we're near the end, and hopefully it gets better. Like that, we're saying the same thing there. And the thing that stood out to me here is Finn's got a new song, and he had a new mask, but the new song, I kind of kind of liked it. I did hear something that they said that they're going to stop the Terror Twins thing, that they're going to separate, Damian and Rhea. They did it for a little bit, but it just didn't work. And so, we said we thought the Rhea story would end. Well, now we'll talk about that match. That one may not end yet either. But the Damian Finn, I expect it to go on. I was wrong earlier too. I just want to correct myself. I thought we already knew about the Crown Jewel thing. Well, apparently they did it after this match. I thought they started the show with the Crown Jewel. And then another cool thing before we get to the next match, and then when Kyle starts talking about this match too, but before we move on, I thought it was cool how in between matches of the show, they each break or little in between, they kind of introduced a few legends, some celebrities. Like they did a 2 or 3 each one. I thought that was kind of cool. They really highlighted the legends, and they had a lot of people at this. And we knew about the hip hop people were going to be there because it's in Atlanta, which I thought we might get a performance or two. Like we couldn't get some Metro Boomin going, but
no, we had Sexy Red perform last night on NXT.
I haven't got that far yet. I'm still in the fatal whatever match.
You can skip it.
But, Kyle, give us your thoughts on this match and Finn Balor's black eye.
And that's not a hate on Sexy Red, because I do like one of her songs, but I think any performances in a wrestling ring are doomed for failure, because at Royal Rumble this year, or when I went to Royal Rumble a couple years ago in San Antonio, Hardy performed a song at the Rumble, and in the stadium it sounded horrible, sounded god awful in the stadium, but like the actual track, I liked the song. So I just think something about performing in a wrestling state, it just doesn't fit well. Anyway, this match, it's kind of like I said to begin the show. Like the first match was great and the last match was great, and everything in between was just kind of, it was there. I mean, it wasn't, I expected more, but I also think that after that Hell in a Cell match, and then a come down with the Nia and Bayley match, then to go into this match, like they needed to give us something. And to y'all's point, it just wasn't there. Like the intensity just wasn't there. And then to me, I don't know if y'all felt this way, but to me, the match kind of ended suddenly. Like I wasn't expecting it to end when it did, because Finn had just hit like 2 coup de grace on Damian.
Wasn't it like a roll up? Didn't he win it like a?
Well, no. Well, he went to do another one or something, and Damian caught him and hit him with the South of Heaven and pinned him. And I was like, so Damian's just can take these finishers, and Finn gets hit by one and he's done.
I would have liked to hear Diggs' take on this, because you know how he is with those false finishes, and then now the finish didn't even affect him.
So I think that threw me off with the match too. But yeah, I'm with y'all. It was lacking something, and I'm not sure what it was. And I don't know where they go from here, because I'm sick and tired of seeing the Judgment Day interfering. It's the same thing with the Bloodline. I got tired of it with the Bloodline. Every match you could count on. You could, if there was a prop bet on would there be interference in a Bloodline match, you would hit every single time for saying yes. I'm sure, Brandon, you did hit multiple times on saying yes on those. So like it's one of those things that you could just know it's the same thing with Judgment Day matches, and I'm sick of it. Like I am sick of it. Like just let them fight in the ring. If you're gonna do something, attack them backstage or after the match, whatever. But let them fight in the ring. So I don't know. I think there needs to be somebody involved, somebody new needs to be injected. Because remember when the Bloodline, we were talking about how it was getting stale, and they injected new people into the Bloodline, and it kind of picked steam back up. Well, if they want to continue this Finn and Damian stuff, they're going to have to inject some new life into this feud, because I do not care about it anymore. I'm over it.
They need to inject some poison. Remember that? Remember Vince's thing? He was going to kill WWF or whatever, or WWE, and he was going to inject the NWO. That was funny. That's what it reminded me of.
We might have to kick Larry off of NetSN for his comment. I don't think Larry. Yeah, Larry. I don't. Larry. Those are fireable offenses, Larry. Those are fireable offenses. You'll be future endeavored quick.
yeah. It's Vince McMahon is the man. Well, hey Larry, go watch the Mr. McMahon documentary and let us know what you think of it. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like this should have been a great feud, and I'm just disappointed with all the good storytelling. If this had been a couple of years ago, and the storytelling was kind of poor like it was for a long time, it would have been just the normal. But when you have these good stories going, and then you have this one that should be super hot, I mean, their ring works great. There's something missing, and there needs to be something injected in this. I agree with Kyle there. Now the Rhea Ripley Liv Morgan match was up next, ended in disqualification, which that's something we can talk about. Wasn't supposed to be. So they had some timing issues, and from what I read, and Dirt Sheet, you may have this information too, but evidently Raquel Rodriguez didn't come out at the right time or early or something, and so the referee had to actually ring the bell. That's why she hit the move and then rolled Liv over, because that's what she was supposed to do, and Liv was going to get the win by the shenanigans. But for some reason, the bell got rang, and this match got totally messed up. Kyle smiles. You must know what I'm talking about.
Well, I'm laughing at Larry's comments too, but no, I know what you're talking about too. I'd heard the same thing, that there was a mistake on her timing, but if she had already messed up and the bell already rang, why are you putting Liv on top of Rhea? Like, you've already screwed up. Don't make yourself look more stupid.
I was like, what is she doing? The match is over. Okay, well,
that's what I said when she tossed her on. I said, wait, isn't it a DQ? Why? What are we doing? What? I was so confused.
I was okay with the DQ because they don't do that as much as anymore. If at least it feels like it, where the match is just thrown out and something happens. Like, it's usually either the good guy either wins or the bad guy cheats and the ref doesn't see it. At least the ref saw it, and okay, let's do the DQ. Like, I'm okay with that. Like, they used to do it all the time. I just feel like they don't anymore. And you guys may
why do we have to DQ a championship match? Like, why are we DQing championship matches? Like, I don't know. I think I'm just, maybe it's because I'm sleepy, and maybe I'm just being old man, get off my lawn tonight. But like, just let them fight, man. Why do we have to have all this extra stuff? Like,
we had Dominic hanging from the shark cage upside down like a pinata. That was hilarious.
I thought that was like, when he started to fall, I freaked out for a second. I was like, oh no. But then his leg caught. I was like, oh, okay. That's what he was doing up there that whole time, making sure he was strapped in. But I for a brief second, my heart dropped. I said, oh my gosh.
He's going to die. Oh no.
Are they going to continue the PLE, or will they shut it down? Like, I don't know what's going to happen here.
Man, it was crazy. And then, he got to get his whippings from Mommy, got him and whipped him with a cane. I thought that was all great. Obviously, the storytelling in this match was good. I'm surprised that they aren't continuing this little feud, but they've injected something in it, and Raquel Rodriguez is that something extra, so it's now extended, and I'm okay with that because now it's something else. Now you're going to have probably a Raquel and Rhea match, something different, and you'll have that little feud going a little bit to protect Liv and kind of extend this out. And so I'm more okay with the way this direction of this feud's going than the Damian Priest and Finn Balor match. But I enjoyed this match. It was entertaining. The weird ending, but overall I enjoyed it. It was probably my third favorite match of the night. I think just because of what they did, the surprise return and the way, just the extra shenanigans and stuff with the match. I think it was my third favorite. It was better than the other two for me.
Yeah. We talked about this feud had been getting kind of stale. We thought this was going to be the payoff, and but then now we got an extra element with Raquel coming back, and so I would have rather seen Rhea against Nia at Crown Jewel, but with Raquel there, it makes it a little more interesting. She got Raquel out there and Tiffany, so that adds a little something to it. I don't know about having Liv against Nia, but we'll see if Liv does beat Nia, especially if it's clean, which with Raquel it's probably not. But if she beats Nia clean, that makes whatever you think of Nia, that makes Liv kind of elevates her even more. She's had a heck of a run this year, and if she can beat Nia at Crown Jewel, just because the discrepancy there. I mean, yeah, she's going against Rhea. She's gone against people taller and bigger than her before, but I don't know. I think beating Nia would be huge if she does it clean, but I don't think that'll happen. But yeah, this match was fine. The best parts were the other things, the Doms, the Raquels. The Dom and Liv entrance was awesome too. In the lowrider coming out, I thought just plays to their character. They've done a great job. And then I did like too during the match. Rhea, she was up at the top and throwing a yeet. Kept that kind of going. Which who knows why that mixed up, but yeah, I thought that was kind of funny. She's become a fun character even with everything that's happened. She's having a blast out there, and so yeah, we'll see where this goes. I thought this would be the blow off, but now we got the Raquel thing, so that who knows where we go from here.
Well, Kyle, your answer to your question looks like Larry hasn't watched in forever. That's why he's a little behind the times. He got Stone Cold, Triple H, Bret. I think he means Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels.
Well, maybe he likes Bret Michaels too. And did Bret Michaels ever make a WWE or WWF appearance?
I don't think so. I don't remember that, but unfortunately,
wouldn't rule it out though.
Hey, no, maybe Stone Cold comes back, but I don't know. Those other three are probably done. Taker may make an appearance here and there, but I know
we're gonna blow his mind when we tell him that Triple H is in charge.
Yeah,
Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, he's in charge of it all. So,
hey, did y'all? Speaking of that, did y'all see? I don't know if it was on TikTok or Instagram or something, but it was DX and Shawn and Triple H, and they were reading off like today's terms, like man, I can't even think, like skibbity Cleveland and stuff, like skibbity toilet or something, like today's terms. You remember that promo they did back for Raw when they were getting in trouble with network television, so they were like at a podium reading off all the stuff that they can't
like the
say.
State of DX address.
yes,
it was the same thing.
I know they did that last night on NXT. I hadn't seen that yet, but I saw they did on NXT last night.
Yeah, that was So that's, y'all should watch it. It's funny, like hearing, because it's old DX getting back. It's like they're recreating it with today's terms. It is hilarious.
That's funny. Yeah, he got auto corrected. That's what it was.
Happens.
One thing I thought was cool in this match, and I think they did in almost every match in this. They did the ref cams for this PLE, and I think maybe every match, but a lot of matches. And they also made it a point to name the referees, because we used to know all of them, and now like it's got new ones, and they started like telling you who they were to kind of get you reacquainted with this new. WWE, I've noticed, has done a lot of stuff like that recently to really personalize the product, and I like that.
Well, the one issue I had with the ref cam was Rhea saying, "Hey, I got some business to handle." Ref said, "I understand. Go ahead." Ref, you're not supposed to be biased.
I actually thought,
what are you doing?
But I actually low key thought that was funny. Like
it was funny.
I kind of popped for that.
He's like, "Yeah, I understand. Go ahead."
And even Cole or Corey like said like. Well, like Corey's like, "Hey, you can't be biased," but like they even like reacted to it, and I thought it was, and then Cole's like, "I'm okay with it." Like, yeah, I actually thought that added a little to it. I mean, I
stuff that would have never happened a few years ago, fellas. Like, it's just those little things like that. Man. All right, we're to the main event. Man, this match was great. I loved the way they did this match. You had Roman Reigns returning to the ring for the first time since WrestleMania. Huge pop. Entrances were great as normal. I like that they put. You didn't like, Kyle? You gave me a funny look. Like, do you not like the new entrance?
I don't like Roman's new entrance. No, I think it's way too long. I hate it. I think the build-up is way too long. He needs to go back.
This one looked like with like a rock band.
Well, but I'm saying like the one you played to open the show.
Yeah.
Can't stand it. I hate it. I think it's the worst. It
You mean
takes
this
way
one?
too. Yeah, it
Oh.
takes way too long.
It just builds them up. You know,
Roman
It
didn't have the
builds
he
and
had the full
builds and
harmonic.
builds.
I don't
It
know.
builds and builds. Anyway, what I'm saying though, I thought having Arkansas Pine Bluff's band there to play Cody Rhodes the ring was awesome after what they did the other day in the game. But when they messed up on wrestling has more than one royal family twice. The first time they played it and the smoke and the graphics played, but no music played, and then so they had to restart it. So that was a little glitchy. And then as the music's playing, the band's trying to play with it, but the band's off and you can hear it. And so it's just like it. I see what they were trying to do, and I applaud the effort, but it didn't sound good. And then Roman's whole thing, go back and watch it. The little lady banging the drums, acting, not even hitting a single drum. Go back and look at it. And then she laughs about it at the end. She's like giggling. She's like, "Yeah, what?" Like she's not hitting anything. So, you said it was epic. The entrances were epic, but I don't think they were good. Like I think there was a lot of screw ups in there that I didn't appreciate. But anyway, not to rain on the parade. Now I sound like Diggs.
I was
Kyle,
too busy.
Kyle, the choreographer.
I was too busy with my finger in the air for my OTC.
I had my finger up too. I did, but I have this ear for music and sound because I have radio, TV. So I have, and when I heard the band off, yeah, well, and then I heard the band off, and I was like, I don't like that. And then to see this lady getting all into it, not hitting a single drum, she's playing her air drums.
Hello, Triple H. Oh, yeah, I've got a new drummer for you for the next PLE match. Yeah, it's KO's nephew, the other KO, Kyle Owens. Yeah. Okay. All right. I'll tell him to give you a call. All right. I've got you in.
I think I'm just old man. Get off my line. I mean, it was not drummer. Like
I just got you.
I get it. I'm not a fan of Roman's new theme, so I didn't like that. And then the band being off with Cody, I didn't care for that. They tried.
Well, I mean, I like his new theme. I just think it kind of they had to change it up a little bit, give him some kind of the face turn. This is how you take someone that you're trying to get over. The Roman Reigns, the way they've done him over the last 4 to 5 years. There for a while they were really pushing him down our throats, and we didn't like it. And it was just, they wanted him to be a baby face so bad, and they kept pushing him, and he was getting booed. Then of course he made this huge heel turn, and now this is what they wanted. They've been able to just play it all out, and now he's getting such big pops. Everyone's ready to see him. He's been off TV. This is the baby face that they wanted 4, 5, 6 years ago. WWE did, and so I think they've done a good job. I like the way in the match they kind of kept him and Fatu away from each other for the most part. There was a little interaction, but they kept them separated. Cody was in there a lot and took a lot of the beating or whatever. Kind of kept Roman, so they got him in the match, got him a little bit. They're teasing him a little bit. But then, he wasn't totally in there the whole time. Now, he was in there some, but I like the way they were able to do this match and still continue it. Of course, we're all waiting to see who's going to come out. And, he popped. As soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, it's going to be Jimmy. We all kind of were, we kind of called it. We were wanting Jimmy. And I like how they kind of brought him up under the ring, and the Tongans, poor Tongans, they have no clue as usual what's going on. They're just watching the match, and he's just standing there next to him. And Solo finally spots him. You can see it, and he has that look, and so then they get super kicked. And the thing after the match, I don't know if you got to see it I saw it on Twitter where they were kind of reading Roman's lips about the play. Did you call that play? Or how they used to call plays and stuff in the original Bloodline, and he said he told him he called it, and the reunion was cool, and I thought that was it. They sold it. They had that. They leave the ring, then they get Cody, and they jump Cody, and they decide to go help him, and then it hits, and I was like, oh my goodness, I mean, I kind of thought they might, but they sold me so good that I kind of thought it was over. I was like, well, maybe they're going to wait till Saudi or something. Maybe they're going to, and all of a sudden that hit, and I was like, oh crap, what's about to go down now? I mean, I thought it was just enough. He came out. Y'all saw the 1, 2, 3. He was counting. He basically was pointing the 3 people in the ring, and there he's going to take them out. It's what kind of look like the gesture is going to be. Did y'all see Rock's go live on Instagram after? That was cool. I think some of that kind of stuff that they do now is really like helps tell stories. Like he didn't give too much, but he gave a little more, just enough to make you okay. So what's going on? And so we'll see what they end up doing. I'm sure we'll have some kind of match of some sorts at Crown Jewel. So obviously Cody is going to be involved in his own match now. So it looks like maybe Roman and Jimmy will team up against 2 members of the Bloodline, and we'll see kind of what happens. Maybe we get another, maybe that, because there's going to be outnumbered. If The Rock is there, we're going to have some. It's going to be a little outnumbered. Maybe somebody else shows up, or maybe they finally get Jay and Sammy over. I don't know what's going on with that, but overall, this match did what it needed to do. It prolonged the story. There's some more stories going on intertwined in this. I mean, there's so much going on in this. And I remember this conversation we had several years ago, fellas, about is the Bloodlines getting old? Or we talked about it, and it seems like every time you think that we're going to get tired of it, they're able to interject something into it. And boy, have they interjected something now that's going to last at least for the next 6 months here to WrestleMania.
Yeah, it was a great, really good match. Great storytelling. Thought they would keep Roman and Fatu away from each other longer, and they did for the most part. But they did let them go at it a little bit. And but yeah, the Rock coming made this whole thing. Jimmy coming back too was also awesome. We've been waiting and knew it was coming, or was hoping it was coming. It came here. But yeah, the Rock stuff, and you talked about the stuff after in the parking lot, the Instagram live. I mean, he may not. You may say there's other great wrestlers of all time. He's the greatest performer, sports entertainer of all time, and I don't think it's even close. He's the greatest performer of all time, and he's adding to that now. And everything he touches almost turns to gold. And this story is good without him, but with him it just elevates it. And that, like you said, we didn't know how long they could keep this going. And it's been maybe the best, or at least one of the best long-term storytelling that WWE's had. It's been how many years is this now? 4 or 5? Like they just kept it going with different angles, different people, just different ways to get you interested. And but yeah, we're still going with it. So we'll have a big War Games match, and that still won't be the end of it. Because like you said, we're getting at least something to WrestleMania, maybe the SummerSlam, and who knows? I mean, there's a lot of Samoans out there. This may go for another 10 years.
Hey, I may be a part Samoan too. I mean, I think everybody's Samoan. Are you Samoan? You Samoan? I don't know. KO, you Samoan?
I'm the big goose, man. Of course I'm Samoan. No, I think the match overall was, it was a decent match, but me at least, I can speak for myself, I felt like something was happening at the end of the match. So I was kind of just waiting for them to get to the end. And I didn't think Cody was going to lose. Like, I didn't think you were going to let your world champion lose. So what I thought was really cool, though, when they had that big stare down at Bobby Dodd Stadium in Atlanta, and he was talking to Cody, was like, I just need to know, do you have my back? I need your word. Do you have my back? And Roman's like, I have your back. You have my word. Cool. Well, Cody showed him by going. You don't often have your world champion, the face of your company, taking a leap from the top turnbuckle onto the announce table. That's the same way Fatu got hurt. That's the same way Fatu got hurt. And yeah, but what stood out to me is Cody looked back at Roman and was like, okay, look, you got it from here, Chief. I'm going to take out Fatu. You take out Solo. And that's what they did. And I thought that again, that's great storytelling. That's calling back to now Cody's showing, okay, I got your back. I'm going to put my body on the line, my health on the line to take out this monster over here, and you deal with the rest. And Roman did it. And then, yeah, I mean, when I don't know if y'all have seen the video, but there's a ringside video from a fan that was right behind the Tongans when Jimmy slid out from under the ring. Tama Tonga saw him clear as a day, like looked down at him and then looked back up at the ring. So it's like, all right, bro, like, okay, got you. But anyway, that him coming back there was awesome. We've been calling Jimmy coming back for weeks. He finally came back. I think he injected something cool. And what I really liked too is after they left the ring and Cody starts getting jumped, Jimmy's like, hey, bro, we got to go help him, Oos. And Roman's like, no, I kept my word. Like, my job's done. I'm done with him, which is classic Roman. But this is a different side of Jimmy. Jimmy would have just been, all right. But Jimmy's like, no, man, like, we got to help him. But at the end of the day, he said, listen, Oos, it's whatever you want. And then Roman saw Jacob get on top of that top rope, and he said, all right. And that's when they went back and saved Cody, which is it's that babyface Roman, but it's also a babyface Jimmy coming back now, like being the good influence on Roman instead of a bad influence. And then The Rock coming out. I was satisfied with that. I was like, well, this is a great ending. And then The Rock's music hitting. I popped like a little girl when I was watching. I said, wait a second. What are we doing here? And he didn't have to say anything. He said it all on Instagram Live afterwards. And Friday's SmackDown is must watch. Friday's SmackDown is must see because of what we can't talk about that happened after the show that apparently no one knows, or that people know about, but nobody's talking about. And it was referenced multiple times on Monday night. But Uncle Kevin, I don't.
You have
know.
any inside information there for Uncle Kevin? What's wrong there, Uncle Kevin?
My sources are telling me that KO's just fed up. He just fed up. He couldn't stand the fact that Roman and Cody looked like they were becoming good friends. And now that Jimmy's back, he didn't like it. He didn't like it, and Kevin just couldn't take any more of it. Went to confront him at the tour bus afterwards, tried to have a civil conversation. Cody popped his mouth off, and then here we go. Now we got a little squabble going down. Some clown had to record it and get Uncle Kevin in trouble. Now I don't know what's going on with Uncle Kevin. We'll find out Friday. That's why Friday's a must-watch show.
But and how do we? I still don't know how I feel about it. We've been expecting this, and we've been expecting from either Randy or Kevin. We didn't know which one or both, and we've been expecting it, and now it didn't play off on air. It's played off air, but like we still get to see it. How do we feel about this?
I think it's kind of different. I like it.
I thought it was kind of cool.
It's more. It's like, was it real like kayfabe stuff? Like, this is legit. I think they can get some really good heat with this because now they can play it off like this wasn't part of the script. Like this is real blood feud now. And so now you're going to replace the Punk McIntyre feud with now a big feud with Rhodes and Owens. I think that's where you can really sell.
And also, where does Randy fit in? Because
I don't know. Randy's the hottest he's been in a long time. Like they're singing his song. I think he's really loving it.
But he's already started dropping. You see the heel turn coming, and
I'm sure it's
probably gonna be the best heel Randy we've gotten. I mean, he's had some great heel Randys. This is gonna be the best one.
Do we get heel Randy and heel KO tag team just going through destroying people? I mean, I'm not saying they have to go after the tag team titles or anything like that, and maybe necessarily not a tag team, but where they're kind of with each other. They're both heels, and they're just kind of causing chaos, and they're not going against each other, but they're not together, but they're not going against each other.
We could get Rhodes and KO, and Randy's in Cody Rhodes' corner, and he turns on him, and now he joins KO, maybe.
Yeah, I just think there's something. I mean, if obviously KO's going heel, so if he's already made that turn, and we can see Randy's about to make that turn, let's just pair them up together. I think the tag team, they don't need to go after tag team titles. I mean, I guess they can. I mean, there's nothing against it, I guess, but at least put them on screen together as a heel group. And maybe they add somebody else to it. They have a little heel faction going on that they can. I'm down for that.
My prediction is that they're gonna keep Randy face for now and let this Cody and KO thing, and he's gonna be in Rhodes' corner, and then at some point down the line he turns on him. That's where you get your match at Mania. They've been talking about.
Or hey, Royal Rumble, Kevin versus Cody for the title with Randy as the special referee, and he hasn't picked a side yet.
Oh, okay. And
like
he makes he does something accidentally and makes his choice there. I like it.
I don't know accidentally. I just say he just kind of maybe Cody wins the match and then he does it to get his title shot at. Because I think that's always been the Mania match I thought would happen. So we'll see. But then I've been seeing stuff lately that what's on the table is Cody versus Rock versus Roman, which I don't want that. I want Rock versus Roman 1-on-1. If we don't get that again, we're going to riot.
You're going to riot? I like it. Oh, man. But, man, overall, this was a great card. I think there was some okay matches in the middle, but the first match and the end were incredible. Story was incredible. I think the wrestling was, for a WWE, obviously it's not going to be an Ospreay Ricochet match, and it can't all be like that. But I think overall this card was a very watchable card. It was the 5 matches. The Gunther, the match that we had predicted, the Gunther Sammy match actually moved to Raw. That originally they had thought it might be on the card there. So, but 5 matches, it was definitely watchable. Enjoyed watching it. Me and my son. My son was glued in. He was into it. So, but I think I like this length. Or we're not watching it at 11, 12 in the morning. 11.
Well, get ready. Saturday's coming.
Well, we hadn't got there yet, but we got 11 matches on that card that I've got. Okay, so if I feel like that they flipped. AEW used to do that. Now they're doing the really long card, and WWE's kind of kept them short. So make sure you get your.
AEW's never done short cards. What are you talking about?
Well, but WWE had the longer cards that were along with them at one point, but they weren't this long. They've gotten longer and longer, I think, as they've continued to grow. I feel like every time
they might not have as many matches, but they always went long because even when they were like maybe not 11 matches, even if they were like 8 matches, they were still going to like midnight every time. Like AEW's always went long.
Well, and I'm more likely to be able to stay awake during those because usually the AEW matches have me, at least the match quality is up there where usually the storylines may not be as good right now. Some of them are, but the match quality is usually there. All right, let's talk this episode 2 for Mr. McMahon, and then we'll talk about the AEW card. I know it's been a few weeks since we've watched, but the most of the stuff that was talked about in episode 2 kind of focused on the steroid scandal and Hulk Hogan and the going mainstream WWE. Brandon, you had some notes on this, and I'm sure what did you like and don't like about this episode here, episode 2?
Oh, let me see. Let me pull that up real quick. This probably maybe my least favorite of the episodes, but it was still, there were some interesting things. You knew about they talked about the movie, they did a lot of Vince Hogan on this one. Mm-hmm. I didn't know about the one kind of thing I learned, Jesse Ventura wanted to start a union, and Hulk went against them there. And then they talked about, WrestleMania and how they, about getting and there was controversy about the crowd there. And I thought you get a lot of Meltzer really shows his hate for WWE and Vince McMahon in this episode and in this whole documentary. There's a lot of steroid stuff in this one. It also showed where WWE started getting more mainstream, getting on these talk shows like Arsenio Hall and stuff. And on some of them, they didn't handle themselves very well. And but Hogan started going more Hollywood, doing movies. Vince and him even wrote a movie that was terrible. I never knew they wrote that movie. No Holds Barred.
Yeah, that was, I didn't know about that movie, and I was like, ooh, that is
We,
bad.
we get a lot of Phil Mushnick in this one. The New York Times or New York Post, one of those New York columnists. He was always going after Vince and the WWF WWE. He long time, and he comes about in a lot of this one, and that we hear a lot about the sex scandals with, not only with Vince but Jimmy Snuka and some others. And a lot of Pat Patterson stuff, some interesting stuff there. Tony
Yeah.
Atlas had some interesting things to say there, and we had some, just a lot of, we really got into the steroids and started getting into the sexual assault allegations that would even further along in the later episodes, but and then we also got a little tease right there at the end about WCW starting, and Ted Turner and Bischoff, and we started getting a little tease into that to set up that next episode, and where they they signed Hogan and to tease that next episode. So
this one was pretty informative to me, because this one was still kind of before I started watching, really. And so, like, I knew some of the wrestlers used the steroids, but I didn't know that Vince had gotten sued for the steroid stuff. I knew it had kind of been going around. Of course, that's the time where you had baseball players using it. You had all kinds of athletes kind of using it at that time. And so I thought it was interesting that Hogan kind of played his cards correct. He like was with one side, he kind of flip-flopped back and forth playing his cards the way and it worked out for him. But I didn't realize that there was this much scandal this early. Like, how in the world did we make it to episode 6 with all this scandal? Like, that to me is just beyond. I can't even understand how this kind of stuff can happen for this long a period and no one ever gets in trouble for it. Like this. I mean,
well, and wasn't that Mushnick's point though? And I think that's where I may be the contrarian in this, but I kind of side with Phil Mushnick in this one. Like, Vince, it was a terrible person back then, and he was getting away with all of it, and Mushnick was trying to expose it and kept getting bought out, or not bought out, but Vince would pay off and get out of everything. And it's like you're fighting a demon that won't go away. And that's how I kind of felt about Vince at this time. And I didn't know about, I knew about the steroid stuff, but it's funny to me how Vince tries to spin things. And I see the narcissistic mind that he has. Like, he would say, well, yeah, steroids were legal at that time. You just couldn't sell them. You couldn't distribute them. But I didn't. My doctor did. I don't know what the doctor did actually, but I didn't do that. So he knew what he was doing was wrong, but it was a loophole in his mind to get it. He knew that he could get out of it. And so it's just slimy stuff like that where he knows what he's doing is wrong, and he continues to do it because he knows he can get away with it. And the more he gets every slanderous thing or every scandal that he got involved in that he beat just fed into his ego. It just made him more and more powerful.
It was like untouchable. That's what he felt like.
Exactly. And I had no clue about the Ring Boy scandal. And that's there's no way. I'm not saying Vince was directly involved in that, but there's no way he didn't know. There is no way you can convince me he did not know what was going on. And to sit there and turn a blind eye to it makes you just as guilty and just as bad. So I didn't know about that. And that just, further reiterated my feelings towards Vince McMahon.
Yeah, I think this episode for me, again, was just more informative. It was there, and it kind of plugged some holes that I didn't really know about. And but yeah, I just can't believe it, all that was going on, and he just continued to get away with it. I knew the stuff later, but it was going on from the very beginning, and he just got away with it. All right. From depressing to let's talk about AEW, guys. We got Wrestledream coming up on Saturday.
Have y'all watched Dynamite from last night since it was a Title Tuesday episode?
Yes.
Title Tuesday with one title match. But yeah, I watched it earlier today, or a little bit before we came on. I finished it, and
I'm not gonna lie, I fell asleep trying to watch it.
So you're already in your Wrestledream. Like that. Okay. All right. I got you awake for a minute there, Kyle. You're up now. Okay. But yeah, this is going to be a interesting card. There's some really good storylines going on. I mean, I'm all in on this. I'm really curious to see where they go with this Moxley faction. I don't know where it's going. I know.
Do you see Shane O'Mac Saturday?
I don't know. I mean,
I want to.
I'd like to see more what's going on here behind this. They've been very cryptic. I've been trying to listen to see if I can get any hints, and I have not really been able to figure out anything yet. But he's been this last week's episode, one yesterday was he kind of said some stuff like, what does that mean? Like I was trying to figure out if there was any hints in there, and I really couldn't figure it out. But it's going to be a Tacoma, Washington, which is Daniel Bryan's hometown. It's going to make this interesting the way they end this. You've got Saturday, October 12th at 8 p.m. Eastern, so that's not 7 p.m. So it'll be over by midnight, Kyle. It'll be right on time there.
Excellent.
Maybe it might have an overrun. You know how to like those.
Oh man! Hopefully they have a curfew in Washington.
Some of these matches you might be able to take a nap on, so you might be able to get your nap in. All right, so let's start here.
Well, you're not going to take a nap because I much rather would be in the position WWE was in last week and the college football schedule they were going against. Even though we looked at that, we thought, oh, it's nothing. But then Vandy goes and beats Alabama and Miami and Cal and Tennessee, Arkansas. So we thought it was a snoozer, but we had to stay interested because there was chaos. But this week, we're gonna be watching wrestling, but we got some bunch of college football to watch too. And so if you need a break, just forget the wrestling for a little bit and watch this college football, because at the same time as Wrestledream, we've got number 2 Ohio State at number 3 Oregon, and then Mississippi at LSU, and then at 9:15 when it's going to be getting the main event time, we get under Colorado and Kansas State. So there's going to be a lot of college football to compete with there. So
the only game that matters is a 2:30, I think 2:30 kickoff on Saturday.
I mean, that will be a good game, and I'm glad it's at 2:30. I mean, it's going to be weird at 2:30 because I'm used to it at 11, but that's not the only game that matters. And so
it is to me. The other teams can Oregon and Ohio State both lose? Because that would be okay with me.
No.
Can they both?
No.
Oh, well.
No. But those LSU at night, Death Valley at night, come on, man. I'm watching that just for the atmosphere.
You know what?
And like Lane Kiffin against Brian Kelly,
I'll have.
Come on, dude.
So what I can do is I can put AEW up on my big 85-inch, and then I'll put the Oregon and Ohio State on the 75-inch, and then I'll put one on the 55-inch, the LSU game, and then I got one more TV, so I can just do all. You can just.
I would put the Ohio State Oregon game on the 85-inch. I would put LSU Mississippi on the 75, and I would put the wrestling on the 55.
No, I need wrestling. I need the wrestling to be front and center.
Well, because we already know how the AEW cards go, where the good stuff's gonna be at the end. They don't give you much good early. It gets better as you go. They don't bookend it like WWE. So during the football games, it's gonna be just the warm up matches anyway.
Well, you're correct. It starts off great, guys. First match that I have on here in the list, if they go in this order, the ROH World Television Champion. Let me give you a quiz. Who has that title right now? Kyle obviously doesn't know. Brandon, do you know off the top of your head who has the ROH World Television Champion?
I do, but I don't know who that is.
Atlantis Jr.? I have no idea who that is.
Who's Atlantis Senior?
I don't know. I'm not sure. We scared Kyle off with that match.
Well, that's on the 0 hour or whatever though. So
I don't know. It doesn't
Oh.
show 0
Oh,
hours
okay.
to me. I just have the whole card. So I don't know if that's. We'll pick the match. I'm going with Brian Cage because I know
Kyle,
Brian
you know
Cage is.
Atlantis Jr. or Atlantis Senior?
No, I just call him AJ.
Oh, this is AJ Styles.
No, no. AJ Styles is injured already. He's already on the
already. Yeah.
Oh, I feel bad.
Is he's injured?
Oh yeah, he's injured. He hurt his
He
ankle.
He looked injured.
Yeah, he rolled his ankle pretty good.
That looked story to me.
Yeah. I'm going with Brian Cage because I know who Brian Cage is. He's a big guy and he's got a lot of muscles, and so I'm going to go with Brian Cage in this match, even though I don't know the other guy. But
well, I'll go Brian Cage too. Give Brian Cage a title. I don't know what this title is, but give it to him.
Give me Brian Cage.
All right, started something.
Oh, here's the one Kyle's gonna be excited about.
The next one is it the M&M collection versus the Acclaimed.
That's gonna kick off the show most likely.
We've already lost. We lost him again here, Brandon. M&M collective is who is that?
That's Max's Mel Models.
That's Mansois and Marseille.
Oh my gosh!
But now they're called Mason and Mansour.
Give me the Acclaim, man. I don't want them on my TV. Get them off my TV.
This is why the pay-per-views are 5 hours long, because we have crap like this on there. Give me the Acclaim.
And this match isn't even on the 0 hour.
Oh geez. Okay. So Kyle's got the Acclaim.
Give me the Acclaimed, yeah.
Brandon, you know you want the M&M collection. Come on. No. Next up on the card, this match will probably be brutal. Darby Allin versus Brody King. Man. Darby Allin just took an L. I don't know how you give him another one this early. I'm going with Darby. I think this would he just he's gonna have to bounce back from that loss he took to Moxley. And so he's lost a couple in a row. I'm gonna get back with Darby. He's gonna get the win here.
I'm gonna go just to be different, and I think it would be good if Brody wins. I'm gonna go with Brody. I'm looking forward to this match. I think there'll be some cool stuff. Brody, we've talked about this in the past. In his trio, he doesn't get to showcase everything I think he has, and this could be a fun match. Even if he loses, this would be a fun showcase match for him, because I think him and Darby will have some fun spots, because he's very athletic. He's a big guy, and Darby's going to take some hits, and Brody, there's going to be some spots in this match that I think we talk about next Wednesday. Like, I think this will be one you want to keep your eyes on, just no matter the result. But I'm going to go Brody just to be different, and I think it would be, because I would like to see Brody get a little push, go for just some kind of singles title. And I like him in the House of Black, but I think they hold him back to a point, even though, they're both awesome too. But I like what they've kind of been doing. They've been using them as a tag team, Malachi and Buddy. And so I'd like to see Brody do some single stuff. And I'm gonna take Brody here.
I'm gonna take Darby Allin, because Darby's from the Seattle area, Tacoma area, and we know how Tony likes to do with his homecomings. So I think and to Bret's point, he just lost too. I think I'm with you though, Brandon. I love Brody King. I think he's fantastic. I love watching him work. And this is going to be a phenomenal match, because as wild and crazy as Darby is as nasty and violent as Brody is. And so there will be some spots, to your point, that next week we'll be looking back at, like, how is Darby not dead? How is he not dead already? And so
I think that's every match, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. But give me Darby in this one over Brody.
All right. Next match, we got Hologram versus Beast Mortos. 2 out of 3 falls match. Now Beast Mortos just formed. I think they formed last night officially. I think. It's Roosh and his little group that looks like Kyle loves them. Who's Hologram? I saw the show there, and I can't remember. This is how much.
he's a collision guy. He's been all in collision. People love him. But people love him. He's fun to watch. I don't know who it is, but he's fun, and he's and they've made a point about his undefeated streak, and so I don't see him losing this. I don't even know 2 out of 3 falls. I think that's probably why they made it 2 out of 3 falls, to kind of, because Beast Mortos they've been kind of pumping up too, so they might have did 2 out of 3 falls to keep Beast Mortos strong. But I don't know if I'd even have Hologram, because you're building up his undefeated streak. I don't even know if I'd have him take a fall, but they may but he still wins the match to keep the undefeated, and also it doesn't weaken Beast Mortos that much, because this Beast Mortos guy, he's kind of interesting character too. So this will be an entertaining spot fest. I will say that this will be entertaining. Like because y'all haven't seen Hologram much because you don't watch Collision, but he can go. He's up there, stylistically with, because before Ricochet came, people thought it was Ricochet, and he's got that some of that stuff in his bag, and so
we need to see Hologram versus Ospreay then.
We will get that one day. I mean, Hologram, because we don't even know if this is a real person. That's like, real person, but I don't think this is someone that we knew from, like, this is just someone that was in the Indies or in Mexico or something. But he's really going to make a name for himself in AEW. And I think one day we will get Hologram and Ospreay, but that'll be way down the line.
If he's undefeated, I'm taking the undefeated guy. I'm going with the odds.
Me too.
I'm going with Hologram. Kyle, what do you think? He's putting his sleepy face on. He's sleeping.
Hologram is no, because Hologram can go. Brandon's right. Like, I watched the match with him and Commander last night on Dynamite, and it was entertaining. It was a spot fest. It was athletic. It was great. They're all the same. Like Commander, Dralistico, Beast Mortos, they all do the same stuff.
Jake the Snake.
Like, what? Yeah, why is he? Never mind.
We're gonna trade.
He got to trade, but did Don Callis own these guys? How does he get them and trade some guys he didn't have ownership of?
I don't even.
Roosh was in the family.
It's gonna be entertaining. It's gonna be fun to watch. It is.
He doesn't care.
I don't. Give me Hologram. Why is this on a pay-per-view? Like, why is this on a pay-per-view? Like, what are we doing?
This is Hologram's first pay-per-view match, I think.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're about to get to the meat of the card, Kyle. So you're in luck here. Next match: Hangman Adam Page versus Jay White. This should be a really good match. This one's tough for me. They've been pushing Hangman with his crazy killer character. He burns people's houses down and does all kinds of stuff. But you just bring back Jay White. He's just returning. I'm going to go with Jay White just because he's going to get his revenge. I think that why would you bring him back to just automatically take an L? That wouldn't make sense to me character-wise. He's actually has backup. Hangman Page, everybody hates him because he's just beating up everybody in the backstage and everywhere. So I'm going to go with Jay White. I think Switchblade gets the win here.
I feel like when we go over picks next week, Brett's going to be like, oh, Brandon was like 2-9. I'm probably going to miss a lot on this one. I'm picking a lot more with what I would like to see happen on this card. And I'm going to pick Jay White, but I can see them giving Hangman the win just because of how they're building him right now. But I'm going to go Jay White because he comes back, and I don't know. It'd be fun to see that, but I'm not confident about it. But I'm gonna stay with Jay White.
You're right. It would be great to see, and I don't know why you would bring Jay White back to lose. But why would you let Hangman lose after what he just went through with Swerve? Like, he just went through hell and back with Swerve, and now he's going to lose to Jay White. No disrespect to Jay White, but we haven't seen Jay White on TV. And Hangman's been out here getting stapled and going off cinder blocks. So
he's still injured, Kyle. He's not 100%. I don't know.
I'm just saying, I don't see them making Hangman lose, even though Jay White's returning. Like I get that, but you can't beat Hangman right now. He's headed towards a world title. So give me Hangman in this one.
All right. Speaking of world title, the ROH World Championship match is next, and Kyle is really excited about this. Hi guys versus Mark Briscoe. Man, they had a good segment the other night, and it was like just brutal. Like you had Chris Jericho going after a dead brother. That was pretty hardcore. I like Mark Briscoe. Don't get me wrong. I feel bad for the guy. Like he was with his brother, and his brother was the bigger star. And I like him in the conglomeration or whatever, but I feel like they're going to give Jericho back a title so he can go around with it and do his little segments and whatever. Maybe he takes that to ROH and he gets off my AEW TV for a little bit. And I'd be okay with that. So I'm going to pick Chris Jericho to get the win. I don't know if he's ever won the ROH world title, but maybe he can just add that to his collection.
That's another one I really don't know. I'm gonna go with Mark Briscoe. I mean, it's like I don't think Jericho needs a title, so that's the only reason. But your logic makes sense, and you're probably gonna be right. Like I said, I'm probably gonna be 2-9 on my picks this week. So give me Mark Briscoe.
I mean, that segment that they had the other night was good. I'm not gonna lie. I always get uncomfortable watching segments like that because I feel like I know that they have to approve it, and I know that they're friends backstage or whatever, but like it's just uncomfortable to me to be bringing up somebody's dead brother that it's not like it hadn't been like 10, 15 years ago. Like it's recent. So that kind of stuff always makes me uncomfortable. I understand why they're doing it, just I don't like it. But yeah, controversial take, maybe. Not a huge fan of Mark Briscoe. I didn't watch the Briscoes when they were teaming together, so I didn't know him beforehand, and so I only know him from what I've seen in AEW. I'm just not impressed. He's hyped, he's energetic, and that's cool, but I'm not overly impressed with him. But I'm also not caring for what Jericho's doing. I don't like the learning tree, so. But I think because Jericho made a comment, I forget what he called it, but he made a comment the other day on his TV time when he was talking about he was the Ocho because he had won 8 championships. So now he was going for like whatever 9. I know Nueve is 9, but like whatever he was calling that. So I think they're going to give him a title, and this is probably when they do it. So I'll take Jericho.
Hey, and to answer your question, Brett. Jericho has been the ROH World Champion. He won it in September 2022 from Claudio, and then lost it to Claudio at Final Battle in Arlington in December of 2022.
Oh,
so he was it for 99 days.
Okay. All right. Maybe they'll.
Oh, never mind. I had a question, but I forgot what I was going to ask. Never mind.
All right. Next match, the AEW TNT Championship. Jack Perry defends his title against Shibata. I think what they're doing with Jack Perry. He's going to keep it. I think. I think Shibata's funny with his little, where he's just been playing with his phone. He types in his message and he plays it to people. I think that's funny. But I still don't think this is the payoff on Jack Perry. I think it's going to be someone different, and so I'm going with Perry to retain there.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the scapegoat, Jack Perry here. His weird promo last night, a little vignette in the back, but I do like what they've done with Shibata. He's entertaining. But yeah, Jack Perry wins. I'm not really interested in the match. But we do get to see the wrestler. So
Give me the scapegoat. I'm just gonna make it simple.
All right. Next match, AEW World Tag Team Championships, the Young Bucks versus Private Party. Again, I just don't think I like Private Party as far as in the ring.
Why'd they change Private Party's theme? It's not shot. They changed it to something else.
I don't know. I guess I didn't notice it.
Okay, sorry.
But if they have changed, that's interesting.
I see Stokely Hathaway's trying to recruit him since he's no longer with Statlander. So
yeah, I just don't. It's just kind of the same way that I feel about Jack Perry's. Like, I don't think Private Party is the tag team that defeats the Young Bucks. I just don't. I don't think that's the one. So I'm gonna go with the Young Bucks retaining.
Yeah, I got the Young Bucks here. There'll be some good spots in this match, though.
Okay, Young Bucks for the sweep there. Okay, the next match, the AEW International Championship match. This is the match I'm looking forward to right here. We get Ospreay, Ricochet, and Takeshita in the ring. This is an interesting triple threat now that you throw Takeshita in. And I'm going with Ospreay. I like Ospreay. I think like he's so hot right now. You can't take the title off of him here. I think something's going to happen in this match, or maybe some Don Callis interference. I mentioned that my storyline interest in this match is will his buddy come out and try to interfere? Because the match I want to see is Kyle Fletcher and Will Ospreay at some point. I think they would put on an incredible match. I'm kind of sad they're not letting this Ricochet Ospreay. They've put them together in the ring, but they had that draw, which I thought that was really weird. Their both shoulders were down in that match. Did you guys see that? Both shoulders were down, but one was over top of the other. But I guess it doesn't matter. You don't have to cover the person as long as the shoulders are down. It counts. I didn't understand that logic. I thought you had to actually cover the person. But anyway, I like what they're doing with Callis, and because it finally explains it, because he was with the Don Callis family, and they just kind of like he was still with them, but he was a face, like it was. So I'm glad they're kind of getting to that where they've actually separated now, and Kyle Fletcher is there's something I feel like he's gonna be involved in this match one way or the other, whether he's gonna side with Ospreay or Takeshita in this match. Unfortunately for Ricochet, I think he's in there to take the pin. So I'm going to go with Ospreay. And then I think at that point, there may be another match, singles match, with either Takeshita or if Fletcher turns, Kyle Fletcher later. But I think Ospreay's got something going with this international championship. One of the main reasons I like watching AEW right now is Ospreay. He's a must keep your phone down, tune into the TV, not put it down. My son loves him. Like he goes crazy anytime Ospreay's wrestling, just because you never know what he's going to do. I'm the same way. I'm a big Ospreay fan here, and I think he retains.
Yeah, same here. Yeah, anytime he's in a match, I don't care who it's against. I mean, I've told you before, he could face Omos, and it'd be at least 4.5 stars. So, but no, I'm looking forward to this match. I think Ospreay wins, but it would not shock me at all if it's Takeshita. This could be the time to put a title on him. And if it's not here, like you said, it could be a return match where he gets it. I do think he eventually wins this international title and becomes a champion, and then they move Ospreay to bigger and better things. But I'll pick Ospreay here. But I did like last night how they teased the Kyle Fletcher. Like he didn't do the turn yet, but like Callis, tried to force his hand, gave him the screwdriver, and then then Takeshita, like they both tried, and then he left, and they ganged back up on Ospreay until Ricochet came out. but they at least teased it a little bit. I don't know if the Fletcher thing happens this Saturday or when, but I do think it's coming sometime. And yeah, that match, whenever it happens, Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher, yeah, that'll be really awesome. I mean, so.
I think this is going to be a phenomenal match. It's probably going to steal the match of the night. I mean, these three guys in the ring, it's not going to be bad at all. I think I could see Fletcher turning and doing something to cost Ospreay the match on Saturday. I could see that. I could see Callis doing something that gets Takeshita to get the win. I'm with you though, Brandon. I think unfortunately Ricochet's in there to take this pin, and because to me, Ospreay loses too much already. Like I understand he's pretty much invincible and he could take losses and it's not going to hurt him at all. But since he's been battling for these championships, he'll win one, then he'll lose one, then he'll win one, then he'll lose one. So I would like to see consistency on, especially pay-per-views, of Ospreay winning these matches. And so I'm going to pick Ospreay to win because he is the best thing on AEW television right
All
now.
right. AEW Women's World Championship match, Mariah May versus Willow Nightingale. This is a tough spot to be right here. This match is. It's between I mean, I'm going with
We're not
Mariah.
doing these women any favors. Like, we're not doing these women any favors at all. I don't know a better place to put them necessarily, but I'm just saying after an Ospreay match and before a main event, it's not exactly ideal.
Yeah, it's not a great spot. I mean, it could be worse. You could have Mercedes Moné fighting in this spot, Kyle. I mean, yeah. She's actually not on the card. Surprisingly, she's not on the card at all.
Good.
So you don't have that match, but this is just a tough spot. But I think Mariah May wins. I think this is still her reign. I don't think that Willow Nightingale, who's taking this title off of her, she just got it. She's building her little run. And so I think Mariah May keeps it. I just feel bad because this is just a tough spot to follow. Anytime you have to follow Ospreay, and then not on top of that, Moxley, Danielson, you're going to be in front of that one. This is definitely where everyone's going to run to the bathroom real quick, get ready for that last match. So I feel bad, but I think Mariah May takes it. It'll be interesting to see if anybody shows up, like comes out to issue a challenge, or if they'll just where they'll go with this. We hadn't seen Toni Storm for a little bit. Is she going to show back up and pop out, or what's going to happen here with Mariah May? She needs a legitimate competitor, and I just don't think Nightingale's not the one to go one-on-one with her right now to get the title. So I'm going to stick with Mariah May retains.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Mariah May too, and I just don't understand this. So Mariah May, Willow Nightingale faces Mercedes Moné, loses her title to her. She loses. Then she has the feud with Statlander. Statlander destroys her. And Willow Nightingale is now getting a title shot at Mariah May. And Statlander is trying to get a title shot at Mercedes. And Mercedes is like, well, you're not good enough even though you just destroyed the person that I took the title from. And that girl's getting a title shot that, even though she just got destroyed. So it doesn't understand. Why is Willow Nightingale getting a title shot? I don't understand.
Because she won the Fatal 4-Way last night.
Right, but why was she? Was it like? No, it wasn't last night. Because she's had this match for a while. Right?
No, there was a Fatal 4-Way last night on Dynamite for. Because Nyla Rose was in there, Willow.
Oh yeah. Right, but this match was already
The women's division right now, guys, is struggling for AEW for me. Like,
right.
There's just not a lot going on right now. I mean, they've got Jamie Hayter back, but they haven't really pushed her yet. I don't know. She's fighting somebody. I don't even remember who.
I don't like the orange hair. I don't like it. And I loved Mariah last night calling her Daphne from Scooby-Doo.
She looks like Becky Lynch to me. Like, that's what that's what I think of when I see that. I think Becky Lynch. That's the first thing I thought of when she came out originally. I was like, is that Becky Lynch? And I was like, oh no, it's not. Okay, well, they need something. I mean, honestly, right now, between if you look at the main roster, SmackDown and Raw, NXT, and AEW, my favorite women's division is NXT right now, guys. Like,
and they keep gaining people.
yeah, they're like adding all these people. I'm like, I mean, you look at the main roster. I don't really give a flip about Nia Jax. I like Tiffany Stratton whenever they do something with her. I mean, the Rhea Liv thing's cool, but it seems like that's been going on for a while now. And then Mariah May thing, the Toni Storm Mariah May thing was class. It was great storytelling. I loved it all. But like now, where do you go from that? And they haven't found that yet with Mariah May. And then of course Mercedes Moné, she walked in the door and she got a title shot because that's how it works. You just walk in somewhere and you that's what you get. First time you walk in, you get a new job. Hey, you're president, CEO of the company, right? So you just walked right in. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on. They've got to find something because the storytelling with the women right now is in the garbage can to me. It was so hard because they did such a good job with Toni Storm's character and this whole Mariah May thing. And I was in on that, but that was the only thing. Now it's kind of falling flat.
Yeah, I'm interested because, like you said, someone coming back. Is Toni Storm coming back or Mina Shirakawa? Like they still got a story to tell that with her and Mariah too. So I'm interested. But I think Mariah wins this one. I'm not interested in this match, but I'm gonna watch any Mariah May match. So I'm good. I'm good with that.
Wasn't it at All Out that Willow and Stat had that street fight?
Yeah,
and it was after an Ospreay match, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it ended up being it was after a big match. It ended up being awesome because because it was a street fight.
Right, but why is Willow keep getting put in these positions? Anyway, I think this. I'm with you, Brandon. I don't know why Willow's getting this. I was just saying she had a 4-way last night. That's how she got it. But why was she even in the 4-way to begin with when she's a loser? Like I don't. It doesn't. It doesn't.
See, I didn't think that match was.
Everybody's a winner, Kyle.
This.
Everybody's a winner, Kyle. Let's give.
It was because
everybody.
it said it was a fatal 4-way for the #1 contendership for Mariah.
Okay, I missed that because I mean this match has been made for a couple weeks, so.
Yeah,
well,
I'm telling you,
I guess it was just window dressing.
The new age, guys. Everybody gets the prize. Everybody's a winner. No, we can't not give anybody. Everybody has to win something. So you get a title. You get a title. You get a title. Everyone gets a title.
I mean, I could not care less about this match, and it's in a death spot. That if this is the order of the card, it's in a death spot. It's not. I mean, yeah. Go fix you some bagel bites. Go to the bathroom, take a shower. Well, you might not have time to do all that. I don't know how long this match.
You can go watch the Diggs dump.
Okay, that's weird. Listen, so I know we talked about Vince earlier, but we listen. I think even if somebody comes back, like I don't care. Give me Mariah. Give me Mariah.
All right.
I do think Toni or Mina or both come back though.
Hey, do we all had Ospreay, right? Did everybody take Ospreay?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, main event. Bryan Danielson is gonna go up against Jon Moxley. Man, there's so many ways that this could go to me. I mean, you got interference that could happen. You got people that could show up. He's in his hometown. Is this where he goes out? I mean, we talked about earlier. You said Darby Allin's in his home state. They're going to give him the win, but I mean, I don't know. This is a really hard one for me. Just because there's so many ways this could possibly go. I mean, do you have some kind of screwed up finish and he loses the title and that's how he goes out in his hometown? I feel like that's probably the way that's going to go. I mean, I've noticed, and I don't know if you guys have caught this, but on TV a lot they've said his career as a full-time wrestler will be over. They said full-time wrestler. They've been saying that like the last few times, that to me that means okay, he's not going to travel and do a full schedule. That doesn't mean he's.
That's what he said, though. That's what Brian said,
Yeah.
didn't he? He said once he loses, he'll retire from full-time wrestling.
So that doesn't mean he can't come back and wrestle at all. He's not.
No, he could come have some paper. He could still come have some pay-per-view matches and stuff. So he just wants to be home with the birdie.
So I mean, it would make sense that this is his match. I would see why. I mean, obviously, him and Moxley have known each other a long time, and to go out this way with a huge story. I don't think it'll be a clean win for Moxley, but I think Moxley, something happens. We may get a person or two revealed out, and it'll be interesting to see if Yuta continues to support Brian, or will he be the one that ends up turning on him? I don't know. He stood by him last night. But I think this is the end for the reign of Daniel Bryan. I hate it. I hope he's able to come back and do some other cool matches and get all those matches in that he wanted. But I'm going to go with Moxley, guys. I think this is the new era. Whatever is coming is going to the landscape of AEW wrestling will change here in this main event here.
I'm going to say no contest. Because I don't think we get a winner here, because I don't think you have Moxley lose, but I don't think this is Danielson's end either. Because this isn't a no DQ match. I don't think we're gonna have a winner here. I'd be closer to leaning your way, Bret, on the Moxley, but I just don't think this is Danielson's end yet. And this is a tough one though. It's different. I'm gonna say no contest. We're gonna get some crazy ending. Someone will come, something will happen. Hopefully no plastic bags on the head, but but who knows? Who knows? Everything's on the table for this one. I wouldn't want to be the referee in this match.
He's gonna get knocked down like 10 times, probably.
He's gonna get more than knocked down. Cesaro Claudio may throw him off the roof or something. There's no telling. We get Shane McMahon, we get whoever. I expect chaos in this match, and after the match, and so I'm gonna say no winner, but that's gonna be my official pick. But if there is a winner, I'm gonna say it's Jon Moxley too. I think if you have him lose now, like, it kind of ruins the legitimacy of what's going on here, and struggling with that word there, but it kind of runs it. And but also, I don't think you need the title on him either right now. So,
but there's something in his plan that he needs the title for some reason.
Yeah, but not yet.
He keeps saying it. It has to be this way, or
Yeah, but I don't think it's this Saturday.
I think this will be the best storyline driven match of the night, because Moxley and Danielson know how to tell a story. They know each other so well. I hadn't thought about the no contest route, Brandon, until you said that. And that makes sense. Like, I think it does feel too soon for Brian to go away. And it feels too soon. I mean, and to your point, Moxley can't take an L, because then everything he's done is for nothing. Like, now his whole badass persona is gone because you just lost. Like, you lose all relevancy there. So, I hadn't even thought about the no contest. That's interesting, though. I don't know if they go that route. And normally I would say that you give the hometown guy the win, but maybe in this situation, like you said, Bret, maybe he gets to ride off into the sunset at home. Like, he's already home. Like, he's there. So I'm taking Moxley to win this match, and I think that Danielson goes away for a little bit, but we see him again either at the start of the year or before the end of the year. The end of the year is over. Like, I don't think he goes away for too long. But I do think Moxley wins and he rides off into the sunset in his hometown.
Man, it's amazing how we start the card and how it ends. I mean, this is going to be tune in. What's it start at 7? So if you tune in around 9 o'clock, you're probably going to catch the good meat of the match. But man, it's gonna be a busy week, fellas. We got I'll be at a football game Thursday, Friday, and then got soccer for the kids during the day on Saturday, then wrestling and football on Saturday. My brother's gonna be in town, so I get to hang out with him and spend some time with him watching some sports on TV. You guys going to a game tomorrow night? No?
Yeah, I'm going to Palestine to watch Westwood and Crockett. I'm excited to see them Westwood Panthers.
If I was going to a game, that's where I would be. I'm kind of taking the day off tomorrow. I'm not going to say why, but
hey, there's a good game on NSN tomorrow night. We got I'll be traveling to Cayuga to watch the Carlisle Indians travel to Cayuga. 0-0 in district for both teams. We'll be starting that up, but first time to Cayuga. Got to talk to Coach McGee. Kyle, thank you for that, and he's excited about having us out, so that'll be interesting. But yeah, it's gonna be a busy weekend. Some good stuff. We'll definitely be back to talk about how this one turns out. It should be some fun conversation next week to kind of go with this great weekend of sports.
Hey,
yeah, go ahead, Brandon.
Oh, just real quick before we go away. What do y'all think about the new? First, what do y'all think about the Sheamus and Pete Dunne match on Raw?
The Donnybrook match, yeah,
I thought interesting ending, but I think it worked.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but also, what do y'all think about the new Hurt Initiative, whatever in AEW?
I'm intrigued. I'm interested to see where they go with it.
Well, I mean, so Lashley signed. We'll see when he comes. But I'm of the thing, like, the thought is that Swerve is going to join them. I'd rather see Swerve fight them. But
yeah, I mean,
I think we're getting Lashley Saturday because they announced last night Swerve was going to be on Wrestledream. They announced Swerve was going to be there.
I missed that. Okay.
So he's going to be there. So I think that MVP and Shelton come out to recruit him and he starts to not want to go. And then that's when Lashley comes out as you don't want to join? I'm going to make you join type thing. So, and I think they're called the Hurt Syndicate.
Hurt Syndicate, that's what it's not initiative. Yeah. I knew it was something weird.
Well,
Pure Garbage Collective. Sorry.
I just wanted to make it different enough where it's not the same old thing run back in another company. Like it's the same people, but I wish maybe, and if it would make sense if they had somebody like Swerve or somebody different to give it a different feel. I'm intrigued on where they're going to go with it, but I just hope they don't replay some of the other. It'll be some different people they interact with, so I guess we'll see how it goes. But it's just
how does it make us feel that a 50-year-old Shelton Benjamin is exciting us on AEW television? An ex-WWE star that's in his 50s is what we're excited about on the alternative. How times have changed is all I'm saying.
Yeah. It's interesting.
I haven't really got excited to see him yet, so I don't know what.
Well, I'm excited to see where it goes. I mean, it's something involving him, seeing where it goes. I think that
I'm more excited about the Bobby part, though.
Well, yeah, for sure. Well, he's not exactly a spring chicken either. So
no. He's been there. He's been around for a while. That's for sure.
But because I'd like to see Powerhouse Hobbs with them.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Yeah. Hobbs joining them would be perfect.
But I'm intrigued. Bobby could have some interesting matches in AEW.
Yeah. This would be as long as they give us something a little different. It is to be some different people he faces. So I'm interested. Right now I want to see where it goes. There's so many. They've got that going. They've kind of got the Moxley thing going. Got some different groups forming. I'm interested to see where they go. I'm looking for some more storylines. AEW is kind of lacking in that lately, except for your main stuff. So I'd like to see some other storylines kind of take off. But anyway, that's gonna be interesting. Definitely something to see what happens Saturday. Well, I'm excited about this guy. Thank everybody for tuning in to tonight's Off the Ropes. This was episode 36. I'd like to thank the Professor Matt Diggs for joining us tonight. Glad he was able to join us. Hopefully we'll get some other guys to kind of pop back in on our shows here over the next few weeks. We'll be back next week to talk Wrestledream review. For the Big Ooze, KO Kyle Owens, Dirt Cheap Brandon Ogden, I'm Mr. Net SN Brett Swinney. We'll catch you next time right here on Off the Ropes. Everybody have a great rest of your week and weekend. See you next time, everybody.
Make your way to the crowd and remember